Sharon, aka Tiger Fiction here, back again with another video. Now I have to apologize for not spitting out enough videos, but I've got tons of summer school and I'm actually doing my homework for once. No, I'm just playing, but today I have an impressions video, and actually before I get this started, I want to thank Ray from TV and Lust for giving me a little wake-up call on my profile. He posted a comment on my channel saying, Sharon, make more videos! That's why I'm here. So today I'm going to talk about a game that was literally buried underneath all the hype for Final Fantasy XIII, and that game is called Resonance of Fate. And you know what? I should be doing my biology homework right now, but all my time has been put towards this game. And I'm just going to say this now, that this beats Final Fantasy XIII on so many different levels. And I've beaten the game, so I do know what I'm talking about to a certain extent. So with that being said, Resonance of Fate, totally beats Final Fantasy XIII in so many different aspects, like I said before. And one of those aspects is the battle system. Now, the battle system is really complex. I mean, damn! The tutorial was like 2 hours long, and I was like still scratching my head at the end of it. I mean, I didn't know what to think after. I was kind of like overwhelmed a bit. And usually JRPGs don't really overwhelm me due to their, their simplicity, I think. And Resonance of Fate totally takes that and beats me with a hammer. Resonance of Fate's battle system is just something I've never seen before, and it actually incorporates some Western elements into the battle system of Resonance of Fate. Like, for example, they use guns instead of swords and magic, which is just really weird but awesome at the same time. And if you watch gameplay videos of the battle system in action, you can actually see that it's very cinematic and strategic at the same time. And I think that was what they were trying to go for, essentially, and they nailed it with this. And I'm pretty sure Square Enix was trying to do the same thing as well, but their battle system was a bit too simplistic for my taste, and this one totally takes the cake, to be honest. And I'm gonna barely scratch the surface over how good the battle system is. It's so addicting, you never get bored of it. And you know what? I'm 15 hours in, and it's really good so far. So I know a lot of people were disappointed with Final Fantasy XIII, and there are many things to rant about that game. I actually enjoyed it, to be honest, but we'll talk about that in a later video. But one of the main disappointments of Final Fantasy XIII was the fact that there were no towns, and towns were considered to be staples for JRPGs. And luckily, Resonance of Fate does have towns. I mean, the world that this game is set in is so unique. It's set in a steampunk kind of setting, and if you don't know what steampunk is, it's kind of like, think of like a lot of clockwork-like structures. And ironically, this game is actually in a clockwork-like structure in the sky called Basil. And humans are forced to live in Basil because poisonous gases have filled the earth and made Earth unlivable. So now they're forced to live in this structure in the sky. And as you talk to the NPCs in the town, like the townspeople and all that, you can start to see that Basil is kind of wearing down a bit, and the gears are not working properly. There are blackouts all over the place, and you play through the story that way, and it's interesting to kind of see the setting come into play into the story. Now, unfortunately, the story is nothing to write home about. The story is nothing too special. I mean, I'm only about 15 hours in. I'm on chapter 5, and there are about 16 chapters in this game, I think. And so far, it's very slow paced. I mean, in each chapter, there's going to be a story mission and a couple of side missions. The story mission is the mandatory one that you have to do before advancing to the next chapter. And in these chapters, there are usually about 4 or 5 cutscenes that they have to kind of tease you a bit about what's happening in the story. And to be honest, they don't give you much information. Kind of just like put you into the game without knowing much. And with that being said, Resonance of Fate is definitely not a story-driven game. And if you watch my PS3 collection video, you know that I'm a narrative gamer and I love games and stories. But I do understand people could argue that if you want a good story, read a good book. And if you're like me, I hate reading, so I can sit down and play a video game, but I can't sit down and read a book. What's wrong with me? But yeah, anyways, what else can I say about Resonance of Fate? Other than the fact that it's got a really unique world map kind of system, a really addicting battle system. What else is there? Story, again, not too great, but the characters in this game are fantastic. I mean, they have the most awesome chemistry together, and they're so funny. I mean, the cutscenes in this game are a bit raunchy, to be honest. I mean, they're kind of typical Japanese RPG humor. I mean, there's always the guy that's a pervert and the girl that's all innocent, and this guy over here always makes fun of the girl's boobs. I don't know why, but it really entertains me, and you know, despite the lack of story, it really does, I guess make up for the loss of narrative. Ooh, and I almost forgot something. Resonance of Fate is very customizable. You know, Final Fantasy XIII was the complete opposite. Couldn't really customize your weapons. You know, couldn't get armor. You know, it was just something that Final Fantasy fans or veterans weren't really too happy about. But Resonance of Fate luckily has that, and you can actually customize your guns. You know, buy parts added onto your guns. It's very user-friendly, so it's very easy to get into. And you can actually buy different guns, you know, scrap parts, buy new ones, find new ones, hunt for new ones. And you can actually change the clothing in this game. You can actually change the clothing of each of the 3 characters you play in this game. And that's a really neat aspect they put into Resonance of Fate, just because the clothes that you change to actually appear in your cutscene. So, you know, if you change into, you know, a yellow t-shirt, for example, the yellow t-shirt that your character is wearing will show up in the cutscene. So, you know, that's really neat. It adds kind of like a replay value to it. I'm really into that stuff, so plus for me. So guys, those are my quick impressions of Resonance of Fate. Again, I've barely scratched the surface of how much content there is in this game, but it's also on the 360, so if you have a 360, you can pick this up as well. And I highly recommend it if you're a fan of RPGs, or, you know, JRPGs or Western RPGs. Doesn't matter. If you're an RPG fan in general, you'll love Resonance of Fate. Guys, this is Tiger Fiction, aka Sharon, and I'm gonna play some Resonance of Fate and not do my biology homework, even though I have a test tomorrow. Anyways, guys, I'll see you later, and look forward to a collection update soon. I think I'll have that up later. See you guys. And it's actually unique in the sense that, oh crap, I think I so